All right. Well, welcome back, folks. Another episode of Put a Stamp on It, brought to you by Mr. Gary Frosto and me, Jose Arellano. So, let's get into it. So, as far as everything, man, when you told me about the course this morning about with Eddie Murphy, I went back and I started watching the Comedians in Cars Having Coffee.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Dude, it's cool, man. I actually got amped up and I thought,
the show?
Man, well, I've seen the
car?
show. Just the car is cool,
okay.
But the fact that Eddie Murphy could potentially, dude,
so
that's going to be a hot ticket.
So what Jose's talking about is, what is it called?
Comedians in Cars Having Coffee.
Something like that. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
You've probably seen it with Jerry Seinfeld. And you know, I don't ever really watch too much. Or I really don't. I browsed through it real quick. But yesterday there was a Porsche on there it was bad. I mean, it was I came back. I was like, oh, you guys gotta check this out. But it was with Eddie Murphy. And then with that, I had, unless it was some fake news, but I came across something online that they were saying that they were working up a deal to get Eddie Murphy to come back out of retirement to do an episode. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a straight comedy stand-up show, but it almost looked like it was going to be a series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were going to pay him upwards to possibly $70 million just to get him out. So if you watch that episode of the Coffees and Cars and Comedians, he talks about kind of not knowing what to say.
Yeah.
He has nothing to say. I don't know what to talk about.
Because it's offensive, and he was saying that he's got to be cautious. He was running something through Jerry Seinfeld. He said that Jerry wanted Eddie Murphy's opinion to kind of co-sign on something.
Yeah.
And he said that there's two homeless guys on the corner.
Oh yeah.
And one of them is getting advice to the other one. And I got it right away. I thought that was pretty damn funny because that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Murphy's like, no, man, no, that's fine. Is it okay to say? But then Eddie, I guess later on he said something about you can't say the word midgets or something. You can't say that.
Yeah, it's not politically correct.
Yeah. So it's like,
and then they talked about when did they have meetings about discussing what appropriate words are. It's a cool show. I mean, it's cool. I can't ever really get into it.
Yeah.
I get what they're trying to put within the whole. I feel like I get what they're trying to put within the whole hour. And every time I watch 30, is it 30 minutes or about an hour?
It's
I didn't really look, but it's just there's so many scenes in between the blend of the car to the coffee pouring to where they're at, and then the cuts in and out of with the comedians. It's like you almost kind of want just to hear them talk.
Yeah.
More than anything else like that. There was an episode with Jamie Foxx. I did watch the whole episode with Jamie Foxx. I think Jamie Foxx is hilarious.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good today because Jamie just does a lot of talking. He takes over everything and he just really plays a lot of parts and roles and changes his voice and stuff like that. So he's talking about having he says, as a comedian, you can't get infatuated with yourself. You can't believe your own hype. He's all because then you start getting away from what got you there. And he remembers one time when he says he was it was called healthy. He's getting a little fat on the face, all that. He's doing comedy and he said he was kind of healthy, he was living, he's getting paid. And he was up there doing comedy. He's like, got that new Range Rover. And he's like, no, I'm doing rich people jokes and no one gets it. He's like, got that new Range Rover. He's like, don't you hate when your house is 5,000 square feet? He's like, no one was laughing at it.
Yeah.
And he goes, but then I remember going back to my room and some skinny black kid comes by and a big old baggy wife beater. And he just looked at me and just kind of gave me this look hey, I got you. Don't worry about that. And he's walked right past him because it was Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker was hungry at that time.
No way.
Yeah, so he's everybody was all over Chris Tucker. And they're like, hey, aren't you, do you know Chris Tucker? And he was Jamie Foxx getting all hurt and everything.
That's crazy, man, because when the crazy thing is, and I think that's all comedians, I think from what I gather, that they start off poor or not making ends meet, not getting paid for their jokes. And that it's kind of funny, whenever you and I crack a joke, can you imagine the shit we laugh about at work, and then later on you're like, hey, if you want to laugh some more, you got to come see me, pay at the door, and then you have to pay to get the jokes. But one of the things that resonated is that the fact that he says that when you're poor, that's when all the good stuff comes out, right? Mm-hmm. Which reminded me, when I think the funnest time is for example, drinking beer. Drinking beer now, okay, go out and drink beer, but I remember being 16, 17, cracking a beer, oh man, just the thought of getting caught, living on the edge a little bit, And sometimes for myself, I hear man, all this money doesn't really mean anything. I had more fun when I was broke, trying to find out a way to like have fun for free. You know what I mean? And I thought, you know what? I wonder how many people think that man, all this money, yeah, it's great, but is it funner to kind of try to be creative and make ends meet and figure some certain stuff out? You know, like to have fun for free. You know, like for example, like for me, it's a lot fun when I didn't have as much money because I'm trying to be creative and how to stretch out a book.
Now keep in mind when we say as much money or money, it's not like like he ain't like rolling in millions over here. No. He's living. There's no concern for debt, bills. There, you can sleep at night without worrying about what most people worry about.
Hey, you know what? You're right.
I want to just clarify that because I don't want people coming trying to get in my pockets. Hey, let me try to get in my pockets, all right?
Yeah. No, but I want to relate. We can do that.
Yeah.
Every now and then I might hit a dollar menu, but
I get what you mean. In kind of what what you're saying is that there's, when you're first starting off in anything, there's a that period in your life is really your back's against the wall. Maybe you came from humble beginnings, or you have a lot of, and Joe Rogan says this a lot. He says, a lot of my friends who are comics and the most successful ones, these all come from the most shitty backgrounds. He's like, they're either were abused, they're bad parents, or it's just terrible stories, but they pulled themselves out of it, and that's their drive and their motivation. And he talks about how they never want that for their children, but he also knows that because of that, there's going to be a certain amount of lack of discipline or lack of creativity that his kids will not maybe have because they don't know that struggle. And kind of, and he says some of the best times he had was sleeping on couches and hopping and going on these trips, and they didn't have no money and et cetera like that. But I mean, that's just kind of it's just experience of your life, kind of where you're at. You can always recall the highlight reel of, oh yeah, I remember what it was like to drink a beer when I was 17, or I remember what it was like when I didn't have anything. Because you knew no other way, you had no option to fail. You could only continue to go forward if that was, I think, ingrained in you. Yeah. So, when people say like, man, now where I'm at, I had less worries when I had less. Yeah. But I think if you've never addressed the worries when you had less, whatever position or money that you're getting or where you're at, you'll never be able to rest, because all that's ever done is exacerbate. Like your those things. It's just giving you more of an anxiety, right? So now you got to go back and figure out, well, okay, well, how do I let go? You know what I mean? How can I enjoy, or how can I, in that moment, it may never be there again. Like, how do I create new memories going forward? Or how, this is, I think we talked about this last time on episode 15, which was like, this is my life now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to recall that, and then also kind of reinvent yourself and go into something else. But you never want to forget the highlight reels. Yeah.
Those are the best ones, man. You will take a trip down memory lane every now and again. So I actually looked into the aviation today, and man, it's about $10,000 like for everything. I'm like, well, I'm just waiting. I emailed them and waiting to get some information. So
that's all for the courses and everything like that.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, that pays for you have to take some tests, you have to pass the medical exam, and then the rental of the airplane plus the fuel, all that goes into account. So I'm curious, man. I want to get started.
What's the length of time for you to get through it?
They say you need a minimum of 40 hours of flight time, but they literally recommend maybe 70, 80 hours of flight time training. So that way, because obviously they say on their it truly life and death situation. Yeah. Well, no shit, So the more training hours I get under my wing, the better I'll be. But
so what Jose's talking about is last episode we talked about getting into something new, basically just trying to kind of take a step outside of his comfort zone, and it was get his pilot's license. Yeah. So that's and he got off. We got the podcast. I was like, man, I hope you're gonna do that. And then he said, he started doing some research and doing what he had to do going forward. So that's good, dude. That you took that step and did something different. You know what I mean?
But it's crazy though, man. I mean, I guess to me, I keep thinking, man, I'll be able to fly like those Dodger games in Vegas or something like because they all have landing strips close by. So in my mind, I'm already thinking about the end game. I'm like, okay,
So because I don't know anything about
back.
that, are you able to like? You can go rent someone else's plane and then fly out there by yourself?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Well, you have to have that license, and then
Well,
you use a plane, pay for the fuel, get over there, refuel, then come back. I mean, I don't know what all the clearance entails, but I'm pretty sure like I can't fly like over any government offices or something like that. I'm excited, man.
So what you do is so you're just out here. It's like, okay, what can I do with this?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that has their pilot license?
No, I don't, man.
You should probably reach out to somebody that has their pilot license and this.
Yeah, if you're out there and if you know someone that has a pilot's license here locally, hit us on the DM and let us know. If you can reach out to me and find out who it is.
Jesse Corona has a pilot license.
Really?
Yeah.
Photographer?
Yeah, you remember DJing photographer? Yeah, I remember him always posting that he was getting his pilot's license.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse, I'm gonna hit you up later, man. That's interesting.
Yep, for sure. Well, man, so we're here on Facebook Live, we're here on YouTube channel, and we're here on IG too as well. So we hope you're following and subscribing, just kind of watching it, checking it out. We try to drop our podcast as constant as we possibly can, at least once, twice a week, just to basically, and if you're new to the show, I mean, pretty much just talk about a whole lot of nothing. It's really just kind of what goes on day to day or whatever kind of comes up and pops up in our head and and kind of our opinions about it. And my belief is I kind of never really try to talk about anything that I haven't been through or I don't really understand because just I don't want to give any information or get fact checked about it and then look like an idiot. So try to stay within my lane. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So as far as that goes, man, one thing for myself, after the past couple of weeks taking a couple time off, really had to reflect on like what I want to do, right? Like to me, I don't know about you, but I always feel like there's something else that I'm meant to do, change someone's life, do something better for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to one of my clients, and when they see, and I'm a realtor, so sometimes you see me in a suit. But I was talking to one of my clients, and he's like, "Yeah, well, how long you been in this business? A couple years." And then he's also, "Are you from here?" So kind of opened up, started telling him about myself.
Yeah.
And he's all like, he was blown away. He's like, "Wow, really? You're the oldest out of 7? You got this going for you? Like, man, how'd you get out?" Like he was tripped out that I guess in his eyes how I guess sane I was by his standards.
Okay.
That of my experiences of having tough and where I'm at now. He says, I would have never guessed you were the oldest out of 7, you worked on the fields and all that other stuff. And I was like, damn, I'm trying to figure out like what kind of perception am I getting off? I'm thinking, okay, I feel like I'm okay with myself, but then I think, no, it really doesn't matter. I kind of got to thinking like, what does someone else think about me? Like, do they think I'm an asshole? Do they think such and such? But then I thought about the podcast.
Right.
And then I thought, you know what? It really doesn't matter when anyone's opinion isn't going to define me. But then I thought, wow, I don't know, kind of for myself, I thought, well, I wonder what else someone else thinks a little bit, And I wonder if that was ingrained in me when I was little, like, hey, whatever they say about you kind of matters. Like for myself, because Mexican family, a lot of times my mom guilt the shit out of me. Made me feel guilty. So-and-so is going to think you're a jerk. So-and-so is going to think you're a gangster if you do this. Or I remember when I tried to get some Nike Cortezes because they look cool and they felt comfy, but she's like, no, you're going to be a gangster. They're going to label you as a gangster. So with that, I'm like, man, I've gotten away from thinking that about that. But every now and again, man, I mean, everyone has a moment of weakness. I just thought, man, I wonder what people think, how I portray myself,
Well, I don't think it's a moment of weakness. And if anybody tells you they really don't care what people think about them, I think they're lying.
Yeah.
And they're just lying to themselves. Because, I mean, you're human. I mean, why would there's going to be points where you are okay, well, maybe that doesn't rock you to your core, but at least that you consider kind of like, okay, what do they think of me, or in any given situation? Because a lot of those are just case by case scenarios about what they think of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're do something that's good, and what do they think about me? Yeah, okay, you know what I mean. If it's something in a bad situation or an argument or anything like that, what do they think about me? But again, it is case by case. I think that it's just more or less, if it kind of pushes you back, then you just kind of just keep going forward, and and you can take it for what it's worth. Like, well, what maybe he wasn't. I mean, do you feel like he was thinking less of you, or he thought more of you? Like, man, that's kind of inspirational.
I
type
took
of
it
thing?
more. He thought more of me.
Okay.
Because of my background.
Right.
I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I mean,
Well, I would not to cut you off, but I would think about it like this: like, for you to have that story, for that to be your foundation, and then for him to think that about you, like that's almost something you should possibly just not always share, but like what happens is you can create a almost like a elevator pitch, but like an elevator pitch of like who you are in a short amount of time, maybe in a sense, like the cliff notes. So like you hear people like speakers like a Gary Vaynerchuk talk, you know, and he kind of goes through where he came from, the Soviet Union, you know, selling wine, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And it's kind of, and it segues into like what he does. Yeah. So in business or, you know, whatever we're doing or in conversation, you know, you can have cliff notes of who you are, because I mean, and again, a lot of times, you know, the impact that you're going to have is that if you're sharing that story with somebody, someone's going to appreciate it and they're going to open up and they're going to say, okay, man, this is my story too as well. And then now you're clicking on a whole different level with that person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now you're more like, I trust this person because they told me who they are, and then I trust you because you told me who you are, etc. I think that just establishes for great business and then also for a great relationship. Because if anything else, you don't want to go into it being somebody you're not, because that's just going to get exposed. Like that's the truth. That's always going to happen. Like you're going to see through that you're full of shit.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. So I opened up, and he opened up, and I was like, oh wow, cool. So now like he's a client.
Now you can say when you close the deal, you know, now when you're saying on social or in person or to somebody else, like, yo, this is my client and my friend. Yeah. Because now you know something, you know. I mean, you just didn't hand them a key and just say, okay, great, hey, let me take a picture, let me post it. Like now you guys are kind of have something with each other. Because a lot of people don't know anything. You know what I mean? It's one thing to carry that. I think when you walk in a room and you have that alpha male or that machismo, it's just that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Because you can walk into a room and talk to anybody and stuff like that. But once that kind of peels that layer back, I think you can start talking to people. And man, this dude's a real dude. Like you've met people like that. You're like, oh shoot, like this guy. Yeah, I can vibe with them because of that. You know? I can. So. Yeah, I mean, I would say always share that story. You know what I mean? And don't ever, no matter how bad it is, don't be afraid of it, because you never know when that's going to help somebody else who's good. Because, like you said, you want to do something to give back, right? And what better way to give back than being able to show how you were able to overcome adversity and then get to where you're at, or even to get to here and just on a different path versus where others in your family are at. Yeah, you know? It helps others for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm getting my therapy session here as well. So I'm far from perfect, but definitely if you just try to get better at it, like I am, then I mean that's all we can do. Yeah. So as far as anything else, man. So what we have football coming up, right?
Oh man, I can't wait. Cowboy training camp just started today, man. I'm so pumped up for football. It's like, yeah, I love it. Like just throwing the jerseys on, being ready to watch the game, like so it's just excited, man. Like being able to go places and hang out, and it's just a real good way to like see my family and stuff. Like all my family is pretty much like 99% Cowboy fans, so we all are with each other and stuff like that. So always different. I hope to hit a couple games this year, maybe like 2 or 3. I'd like to take I gotta look at the schedule again, but I really want to go to preseason games. But I want to see if there's. I can't think if they play anybody locally within California, but either way, I wanted to shoot out to Dallas and to take maybe my son and then my oldest daughter, because them two would be the only ones who'd be really interested in going. Yeah. So they can go out there, you know what I'm saying? Like start doing things with them and stuff like that, and then probably hit up a game solo or something. Well, not solo, but
no, because you went to a game already last year, right? The playoff stadium. Yeah.
No. We went to the playoffs last year. We played the Rams.
No, but didn't you go to Dallas at one point?
Last year? No, the year before that.
Okay, all right.
The year before that.
Yeah. So, do you have a certain like go-to spot during your football season, or a certain meal that you take, like other than buffalo wings, or
that I take?
Yeah. Do you take anything whenever you go to parties? You just show up here?
No. We don't do like parties or anything like that. Like, if I go to my cousin's house, maybe he might be grilling something, maybe he might not, but like, it's just show up and watch the game. Yeah. Like I prefer to watch it at home just because I don't care less to be around other fans because I really don't want to hear other people talking shit. Yeah. Not just because it just doesn't they're just trying to get a rile. And I'm not gonna be all mad at them. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to hear it. Like, I'd rather be here at home, standing there looking at TV, just zoned out by myself, or with them, or maybe at my cousin's house, or a couple of my cousins, stuff like that, or my aunt's house. My uncle's a Cowboy fan, and my aunt's a Raider fan. So that's the only way I can deal with. My aunt will talk shit while whoever's getting first, type of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, it's just fun because it's a great time for us to all spend together. But I watch every game every Sunday. I will not miss a game. I'll work all my appointments. Sorry, I'm gonna work all my appointments around the games.
He's putting out the right now.
I will not. Nope. That's I get. I don't care what anybody says. That's my getaway.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Niners fan, so I'm just hoping we do good this year. Get a couple wins under our belt. Not very. I'm optimistic, but I'm also a realist too. I'm gonna try to hit out a game or two this year and see how it goes. I mean, it's pretty fun. I don't have a certain ritual or spot that I go to. I think I'm the only Niner fan in my family.
What's your son?
My brother. He's a Niner fan, I think, by default. He's not.
You don't go watch the games with them?
No, I try to, but he's like, oh, okay. I showed him how to play football, but he's not. It doesn't.
That's like, man, hey, Christian, if you're watching right now, like, that's it. You and your dad should be watching the game every Sunday this year. Like, that's it. It's a ritual. Like, that's because I can't wait till my son's old enough that I can be like, yo, we're going.
Yeah.
Like all day.
Yeah, and that'd be hella cool. I can't watch all the games. If I'm watching, well, I guess I should. I don't want to watch all the games. Thank you.
There you go. That's a difference. Okay.
I don't want to watch all the games. I just want to watch the Niner game. That's it. No.
Oh no, you mean like all football games?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't watch all the games.
Yeah. No, just the 4
Niner games and everything else.
And even then, I'm kind of like, okay, I catch the highlights if I know it's going to be a bad season.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if I'm like on a fantasy football team, dude, I'll watch the highlights of different games. I'm like, yes, this will be nice. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just waiting for my son to maybe come on, Kishan. Got to watch a whole football game.
Just checking the Facebook, seeing if anybody's saying anything on there. Yeah, man. So, what'd you do this weekend? I know we went to go watch The Lion King.
We saw Lion King.
I'm not really looking to get into that too much. I care less. But.
Yeah, it was good.
It was all right.
It was good. I followed most of I knew what they were going to say already.
I mean,
so
talking Lions, too much CGI, but I mean overall, like it's a good time. People liked it. I mean, I don't think you can ever go wrong with a Disney movie, kind of in the sense like people love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what my son was telling me that Disney's going back. They're fueling off nostalgia.
Oh, smart. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's like we got Mulan next year and all that other stuff. But it's all right.
What'd you do Saturday and Sunday? Anything come up other than work?
Other than work, man, I just really worked.
Yeah.
I took almost 2 weeks off, busy, so my ass was out showing homes and writing up offers.
How do you feel taking 2 weeks off from work, especially in a position where you don't put in for vacation time, so you don't have money coming in, but you're taking this time and no, I would say I was pretty much Vegas and then Tahoe, stuff like that. So I mean, how does it feel out there? Do you feel a sense of like guilt or being anxious or anxiety because you're like, damn, I'm not at work, almost that you can't relax, or are you able to get over that?
Yeah, I get over it, but I have my moments where I'm like, oh man, because I ended up leaving my phone at home. So I'm thinking, damn it, man, like, okay, I got so-and-so. I tried to square as much as I could before I took off and have everything prioritized, but a little part of me was like, damn it, so-and-so's going to miss a call. But then at the end of it, I was like, look, they're with my family. I might as well just fucking enjoy it. So we had a decent time. I actually had a really good time being out in nature and stuff like that. So I think it's always good to disconnect because I want the phone tied to my hip.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I try to get out of that mind frame of, fuck, I'm not being productive. I'm not opening this. I'm not working. So it's like, just let it go, man. Like we talked about a couple episodes. You talk about being in the present and actually enjoying that time.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of dove in that lake, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit back, enjoy it, spend time with my family, and not really worry about too much of everything. So, I mean, it was good, man.
That's what's up, dude. Good stuff, man.
And then battery's recharged, so I'm good to go.
Oh, you said battery's recharged.
Yeah.
I didn't know my phone was not charging. What comments that, man?
Did you hide them all?
Huh?
Oh, I hit the comment section.
Go ahead, keep going. I'm just looking for
some
people out here.
Yeah, we got everyone.
That's cool,
folks,
man.
Thank you for
getting out there, checking it out.
Speaking of, you got out there too, man. How was your weekend?
It was good. Weekend was good.
Hike, right?
Yeah, I went on a hike. Friday. Friday we watched The Lion King,
Uh-huh.
and then Saturday took off to Santa Barbara. Went hiking at what's it called? Inspiration Point. Inspiration Point. I think it's called Inspiration Point.
Yeah.
Did a hike. Weather was good out there, man. 70 degrees. Like Santa Barbara is my goal. Like I'm moving to Santa Barbara. Like there's nothing that's gonna stop me from moving to Santa Barbara. Like whether it's gonna be in my mid 40s, 50s, 60s, but hey, or when I die, they're gonna go fucking bury me over there. Like, you know, I'm gonna end up there, fam. Like it's gonna go down. But yeah, man, as soon as I get there, it's like 70 degrees. It was cool. It had a little bit of an overcast. But then as we started hiking, it was like, then the sun came out and stuff like that. But that was cool. I mean, I'm not really tied to my phone as much as I used to be. So it's easier for me to put it away, not listen to music or podcasts or anything like that. And just really kind of just hit the trail and we just walk it, up and then sit up there and, you got that whole view of Santa Barbara and everything like that, the water. And yeah, man, then came back down. What else did we do out there? Walked around, hung out. The hike, well, it's 3.5 miles total round trip, which is if you go up and then back, it's supposed to take about an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh, damn.
That's what the thing says on the website. Okay. But I think it took me an hour. It took an hour to get up there. We took an hour to get up there. Probably sat up there for about maybe 15, 20 minutes, just chilled and stuff like that. And then ate a little bit and then packed up and then just shot back down. But the way back down is always a lot quicker. But it's cool though, because I mean, you get to spend time, you get to talk to people, you get to conversate, you see people coming back and forth, and you kind of, when you're letting each other pass, you get to talk to them and stuff like that. But now I wanted to do something different, basically, man, just because, you get kind of tired of just doing the same thing over and over, not doing nothing, but I was like, I'm just going to get up and go, we're going to go hiking, like, I'm just going to get the hell out of here. Yeah. Then we went to, just hung out with SB, ate, shop, hit some stores, hit a vintage shop, bought my daughter that old school Charlotte Hornets.
I saw that.
Mitchell and Ness shirt. It's pretty dope. Kids are getting school shopping, so to my daughter, I'm like, man, hey. I told her, I was like, yo, you gotta come hard in high school because she just started first year of high school. So like, she got that. She copped a bunch of like other old school shirts when her mom took her out there to go shopping to some other place, some outlets. But it's cool though, because like we'll go to like secondhand stores or like the stuff they get from secondhand stores and they resell it and stuff like that because there's a lot of vintage retro. I mean, that's kind of the theme. Okay. So then we hit that, and then just came back, man. I think we got back like around 9, but it was cool because like we were that close to just shooting instead of going straight to Bakersfield, just shooting straight to LA. And we were gonna go to the comedy store in Hollywood. I was like, let's just hit the comedy store, and we were looking at who's performing. Jeff Ross was performing, and I think just like, I was like, man, by the time we get there, 10:30, it had been done by 1:30. I'm like, I won't be back home until like 3:30. I'm like, yo, that's gonna make for a bad Sunday. So I was like, we gotta cut. But it was good times, man. Like, not to take over too much of it, man, but it's like it feels like a chapter of my life has closed, and it's almost like a completely new one's opened up. And but it's different because it almost be not smart or you was stupid if I didn't look back at the previous chapters and say, okay, well, before I write this, make sure you're aware of everything going forward. Like, don't make the same mistakes, and do it different this time. And that's kind of it's really kind of exciting because it's like, I want to do things different going forward. Yeah. For the family, for myself, for health, for a relationship. I just want, like, for the whole wheel, for work, wealth, health, relationship, for, family, like all that. I just want to be able to plug enough for every one of them. So it's it's full circle, and really just being aware of that going forward. Because I've made that commitment that there's no going back to my past, like at all. There's nothing that's going to make me return to anything when it came to whether it's my certain type of work ethic, things that I was more after than anything else. It's just kind of stuff that we always talk about. Like I just don't want, it's just a sense of not like letting go, but you just got to erase it and just kind of continue to move forward. You know what I mean?
Well, so I don't know, more like a readjust everything and put it to where, because obviously if you're looking back in the chapters of what you could have done differently, and then now before you write this chapter, you're like, okay, maybe you're like, I'm going to restructure it and do it this way. Maybe a little bit less of this and a little bit more of that, or more prioritized.
Well, I wish every time I listen to good stuff, like podcasts, episodes, different readings, stuff like that, you almost have, I forget, I'm always, man, take a note. So I can go talk about it later, but and reference it. But I've heard like from 3 different people, and it's almost like, this is just for me in my life, but it's like, yo, you have to like, just understand that the world is cruel. Understand it's gonna knock you down, and just understand that it's not easy out there, right? And that's
right.
You know, so also with that, it's like, you know, in order to continue to grow, you have to be okay with what got you there,
right?
And take the responsibility for it. But then you gotta forget it, to reinvent, right?
Yeah. To
become, you know, and you can draw back to that. I mean, okay, well, this is that, this is this, but it's, I think if I have to keep drawing back to that, I haven't really left that. Like, I haven't really developed that yet, right? So you don't go, like, you're not going to the gym, or you're not going to work on the car or do something, right? Like, okay, so it's almost like muscle memory, right? Like, you get in the car and you drive to work without thinking, right? You just do.
Yeah.
My point is, I want to live life by just doing. I don't want to have to say, oh, yeah, that's right. I remember based off this old situation, this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at that point where I feel like I've learned what I've learned from that's got me here, but now it's embedded to do different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't need to recall my past. I don't need to recall this is that. All it is now, it's just this chapter going forward. Like, you know, why spend my time hanging around in that area? You know what I mean?
So basically, a clean slate for yourself to move forward and just do things. Well, not different, but just do it like you said. Do not like a commercial, not just do, but be there to where you can actually enjoy yourself a little bit more.
No, I mean, it's just to have a new life. Like, this is my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just this is life now.
Yeah.
There is no, the only thing that ever happened was I got 4 kids. That's it.
Yeah.
So what, you know what I mean? That's my point. Like, I don't need to recall my ex-wife. I don't need to recall our past of 9 years. I don't need to recall an old job. I don't, like, for what? Like, I'm here where I'm at.
It's like
that got me to the mess. That got me to the show. And now I'll call the cliff notes, like we were saying. And now it's just the shit going forward, you know? Like, that's you as a person. So, I mean, it's different for me versus, like, kind of like, you know, for you yourself, you know? Yeah. But my overall point is, you know, you just can't move forward if you can't let go.
Yeah.
You can't, if you can't just accept whatever happens, it's, all right, shit, that's this is it. This has got me here. Now let's just keep dancing going forward. And this is the new thing. This is the new thing. This is the new thing. So, that, man, I think just, you know, doing things a lot different. You know, everything's different. Friends are different. It's just a different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's just kind of where it's going. You know, and doing things like you say, you're gonna get your pilot's license. I'm like, well, shit, I want to do something too. You know, I don't know what the hell it is, but I want to do something that has nothing to do with money, though. You know what I mean? I want to do something that's more just, you know, creative and just to do it, not to expect anything out of it.
Yeah.
But I think to open up another creativity. Like, I always think about this like this. You remember when you used to play video games? You ever get into video games?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And you would, like, literally start the game and you'd zone out for like weeks, right? And you're just like, damn, I'm gonna beat this, right? And nothing else mattered.
Nothing. Double Dragon, Street Fighter 2.
Right. So, like, when you got into real estate, you were like, yo, real estate wouldn't matter. I gotta get this. And you know what I mean? So that's kind of like, I want that. Like, I want to learn how. I want to really learn how to paint. So I want to. This is my thing, but I want to, my creativity, I want to focus here, so it takes me into this different avenue. It's just I just want to keep learning.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to not learn. I don't want to have our days just be like, we get up, we go to work, we cold call, we come home, I go to lunch. It's fucking boring doing the same shit every day. If anybody tells me that anything different, you're fucking lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, go to the gym in the morning, go to the gym at night. I mean, just do something. Shit, go to the gym in the afternoon. Like, but just break rhythm of what you always do, you know? Yeah. I can't get, who the fuck has the life plan from the first day of the year to the last day of the year.
Oh, shit,
like,
dude.
that's scary. Like,
yeah. Well, shit, that's how it was at FedEx when I worked there for 12 years, trying to figure out,
Yeah.
like, we had to schedule our vacations a year in advance, dude. That licked balls, because we're trying to figure out, you gotta be
that
kidding me.
licked balls.
A whole year in advance to try to
Yeah.
figure out your vacation. And
Yeah.
it's like, man, I don't want all that. And that's what got me that I'm in right now. And I think for a lot of people, like they go to 9 to 5,
Right.
and that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, man, I feel like I broke the chains, dude. Hate to
Yeah.
sound cliche, but I'm like, I don't want that shit.
Right.
Like right now, I can call in sick.
Like
And it's
even being
myself.
9 to 5, like, you know, like there's things you can still do. Like you can, you know, you can write, you can read, you can start a podcast, you can just go to the gym for 15, 20, you can go ride a bike. I mean,
yeah.
But it's like people are going to come up with the excuse of like, I don't have enough time. Oh, it's because of my
bullshit.
family. You know, oh, I don't have enough time to.
Yeah.
But it's like just do something that's gonna add just a little bit of change. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't eat this. You can't eat just a little pepper, just a little something different. That's all I'm saying. Just add a little something in there.
Yeah, and that's crazy because one little thing will lead to another.
Yeah,
and,
that's
you'll,
it.
you'll slowly start
For sure.
going, man. So then, for yourself, at this stage in your life, like for today,
Yeah.
Would you say you're happy?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Nice. Good. Yeah.
I think progressively I've gotten through what I needed to get through to get me to where I need to be. So
Yeah.
I'm exactly where I need to be, and I'm dealing with what I need to deal with, and it's you know, it's gonna take a couple steps back, gonna take a couple steps forward, but it's just being aware of it, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, that's kind of there, and just embrace the bad times when they come, and then also embrace the good times when they're there, you know, because I think a lot of times we don't just look at the good times. Like, okay, you're able to go watch Lion King, you're able to go cut in the middle of the day and go do this, or go have a longer lunch, and you know, just enjoy that moment. And when you're there, it's never like we need to be rushed and do anything different, you know.
Yeah.
I think you should, you know, embrace, like, even being in the office, like, you know, like if we all kind of go in there, like, you know, okay, you know, let's go hit a 30-40 minute lunch with each other, you know what I mean? Like, just embrace those things, because those are the little things that when they're gone, you know, you just kind of, it can leave into like, well, there's really nothing here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I think with something like that, I think lunch brings a lot of people together, because then, you know, when you're waiting for the food, you're kind of put in a position where you got to talk. Hey, well, what's going on with this? Hey, what's going on with that?
well, you should be off your phone though.
Yeah, I know.
This is guy's public enemy number one for being on his
Oh
phone.
my God! Look,
That
I'm
was-
a work in progress. Okay. So, but yeah, and you know what? The funny thing is, I only get caught whenever we're on our way to lunch, and then I get blown up. And then, how is it that you're still driving, and I'm in the back looking at my phone, checking my emails, trying to like work on some deal or a client or something, and this fool straight out of left field, hey, you off your phone? You fool, yeah.
Yeah, get off your phone.
He's driving. I'm like, hey, keep your eyes on the roof.
Don't worry about me.
No, I'm worried about you because you got all of us in the car. I'm like, geez,
Yeah,
this guy's gonna wreck. I said, hey, just worry about there. But then, you know, he keeps me in check.
What I
Right.
want to press upon my friend here is you're not going to get any more deals because you answer your phones all the time at lunch than you are if you don't answer your phone at lunch.
I guess for me, I want to close it down so that way when I'm done with lunch, okay, I don't have to worry about
When by the time you're done with lunch, we're already all done with lunch, and you're barely getting started with lunch.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's like,
no, I finished my
I know
food
it's
off
gonna
anyway.
sound like a dick move, but don't even show up if you ain't gonna show up.
What?
That
I
if
show
you, if
up.
you ain't gonna be there, because you're great at conver. If you are not good at conversating, you can fucking go and be on your phone the whole time. But because you're entertaining as well, that's like we're going to a comedy show and this motherfucker's on his phone the whole time. Like like he's like telling jokes, like he's like doing like you can't be the comedian upstage on the stage looking at your phone telling jokes at the same time. Like we need you at the table.
Well, good, because they probably throw money at me to get off the stage.
But my point is like clients like and wait, clients. I love you guys. You know, if you're watching, sorry,
Yeah,
but
let's not talk about
no. But what I'm saying is this: when you text them, they don't reply immediately back to you, right? They're in the middle of their lives.
It's 50-50. It's 50-50.
They're in the middle of their
Sometimes
work. They're in the middle of doing their things. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, in a sense, like so are you. Like you sell yourself. We sell ourselves on the fact that we have to answer the phone immediately.
Right.
You gotta respond to that email. You gotta do this. You gotta do that.
Right.
But if you watch, Tony? You ever watch our broker answer the phone consistently? Like in front of us, like is he always?
No.
He sells a lot of houses. He runs a brokerage. He has paid. You know, so what I'm saying is like you watch the guys that are doing big things, and a lot. You see Shane DeVerde hopping on his phone all the time in front of us.
You know what? No, and that's one thing I picked up from him. Whenever we're talking, he's like, "Nah, he'll turn it off." I'm like, "Oh wow!"
I do this shit all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
So,
Click.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah. So yeah,
People,
you're
I'll
right.
be chilling. I was chilling this weekend. Hey, you need to take that call? No.
Yeah.
And if it is, hey, I'm doing something right now, and I'll get back to you in a couple hours. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
no worries. As long as they acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Now, if it's because what always happens is I always find out is like you're trying to get this countersign, whatever, right? And no, you got to remember if you're on the buying end and you get the counter in, and then you get the counter out to the agent. How many times is that agent actually doing the same shit you're doing and going trying to present at the same time?
None.
It makes no difference.
Yeah.
Right? So it's usually like, yo, I'm in the middle of something. Can I get to you in a couple hours? Yeah, that's fine. And let's say if they're like, yo, you absolutely need to get to me here.
Yeah.
If it's something to do with escrow, what can you really do? Something to do with title, or I'm sorry, lending, what can you really do? Like you got to rely on who you can as a team.
Yeah.
So my point is that's never going to get any better if you can't address it quick.
Yeah.
And that's something that like our old broker Lee, what do we like? You know, there's a progression from the first day to the 45th day. And, you know, don't be those agents that just stress yourself out because you have to have your hand, or you feel like you have, you know what I'm saying? Like
be entangled in the deal.
Yeah, most
And
of the ones
that's
you find out,
Yeah.
most of the ones you find out, you know, hey, I need to look at this house. Cool. Do you really need to get them the information about it right down on the spot?
But that's the thing that happened a couple weeks ago, mind you. But I'm slowly, like when I left my phone, I was at Tahoe for a couple times. I'm like, it felt good to disconnect. I had my laptop and catch up with emails when I could, but yeah, it actually did feel good. Where okay, you know what? I don't have my fucking phone with me. I'm all right.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of
like
like, but you know, that kind of goes to like even new people who bring in shit like that too. You know, and just in general, you know, just learn how to respond effectively. And I mean, that's just with everything, you know. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's like that for regular people in their like your regular 9-to-5 job or anything like that, where you know you're not really getting bugged after work and stuff like that. But just in general, just being present. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that goes a lot. That goes a long ways, and that's something that just recently It's weird because I haven't been aware of it, or I haven't tried to forcefully make myself better at it. It's almost like it's just happened naturally, not to be on my phone. Like not to really be in the middle of a conversation with anybody and just kind of like, you know, here or there, or, you know, I'll take it real quick and just kind of put it away. But it's becoming a better habit at it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. One thing I wish I was better at, and I don't know if you do, but I really wish I created playlists with music. Do you have playlists?
Oh man, yeah, I used to. I haven't lately, man, because I'll put on Pandora, let it run. Spotify, Spotify, I had a shitload list, and then like I had cruising music, I had workout music, and then just little by little, like, I ain't got time for it. I just put it on. But sometimes I'm like, I don't get reception, or I didn't pay for shit, so sometimes it won't come out like offline, online. I'm like,
do you pay for any of those services, like Pandora or Spotify, the free ones?
No, I had Pandora for a while, but then like, you know what?
Whatever. You paid for it?
No, I used to, but then I stopped, and then I want to get back on the YouTube music one. That one's actually pretty good.
Well, it comes free.
The premium one.
It comes free if you do the premium. Like I really can't. Yeah, man, I just can't deal with commercials. I pay for the YouTube premium, man. Like I gotta have. I just can't. Like I can't be listening to a podcast and it jumps to a commercial. It irks me. I'm like, damn, for real? I gotta listen to this commercial right now? Like, same thing with watching TV. Like, so these apps piss me off. Like, I really have to watch this commercial. Like, damn.
And you know what? The funny thing is, some of them are like, what, 15 seconds? Longest ones are like maybe 30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you realize 30 seconds is a long damn time. Like, shit. So that's why I try to, as soon as it'll show like on there, you can skip this at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, skip, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it'd be a lot easier if I just went ahead and fucking signed up. And
I'm gonna try to use one of the ones I know I'm gonna use a lot. Like the YouTube premium channel is one I use a lot, just because I listen to all the podcasts, and that's and you know, for the kids too. Like if they're watching like whatever kid stuff that's on there, it's just a straight stream the whole way. So I'm like, oh thank God, like it doesn't cut and go to a commercial, and then they'll press something else, and you know,
give them a chance to get distracted. Hey Dad, there's a commercial. What's going on?
Then it jumps to something else or anything like that. So nah, man, it's just a straight stream all the way through.
Yeah.
So school's coming.
Man.
How's school shopping in your household, man?
We ordered the clothes online.
Do you let your son pick his clothes out? Like, does he, like, you don't let him, like, you guys, like, so Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so you should get. My suggestion is break your son off a couple hundos, drop him off at the mall, let him do his thing. Like there's some, and let him go with his homies. Like there's some type of like just coming of age as a man, like to go pick your own gear.
Yeah.
Like I used to love that shit. I'd go to the mall with the homies, like, yo, hey, this is it. This is it. This is it. We about to get it. Like, you ever did that?
Dude, I did, man.
I man, I'm about to stun on them. Like,
so then,
because you go check your
boy,
your boy come to school and be like, yeah, I order my shit online. My mom does. And be like, what a fucking punk. Like, how would you be like, let it no, say no, don't say I'm a clown. Like, that's how the blue ones are. Back in our day, we could talk shit to each other without getting bullied. But, like, man, like, you know, it was always like, yo, no, I went to LA and bought my gear. Damn, that fool went to LA.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that. You're like, shit.
But what I'm saying is, like, let him, like, that's gonna, like, I don't know, like, cause I can't, you know, like.
Sense of creativity, right?
Yeah, let him pick his vibe out.
And that's the thing, is like,
does he have his own thing? Like when he goes, like, hey, I want that, I want that.
He'll go like, hey, there's these 4 shirts. You like any of them? Yeah, I like that one. No, I don't like this other one. Like we give him that option, but
you want him to be able to put it on, feel it, walk out, tell the lady at the counter, and be like, yo, what's up? What you think about the shirt though? Would you holler at me? Okay, cool, I'll get it.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't know.
Boss, go take him. That's a man moment.
That would be good. That would be good just to see like what his style is. But the crazy thing is, we've gone like before him and I, right? We were trying to get like an outfit or something, and there was this really loud shirt that if you saw it, I think you and I'd be able to rock it. Oh hell yeah, that looks dope. But it was a loud shirt, and he liked the thought of it because it had like crocodiles with different colors. It was a black with like neon colored gators all over. It looked dope.
Yeah.
And I told him, all right, well, do you like it? He's like, yeah, I do. I said, well, put it on, see how it looks. And he put it on. Dude, his face, he looked like he was completely uncomfortable. Like, it seemed like a good idea. But he's like, well, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you really want it or not? He's like, no. I said, all right, cool.
Ask him, watch. When you get home, be like, or maybe tomorrow, whatever, be like, yo, son, you know, because he has buddies, right, that are like, that probably go do that too. So, hey, man, yo, do you want to do how we usually do, or hey, if I break you off a little bit, just shoot to the mall, and go get some gear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to do?
Not a bad idea.
Like, I love, like, dude, I'll take my oldest daughter shopping all day. Like, is this shit like shopping for me? Like, we'll walk in there and be like, I guess I'll get it for you before I get it for me. I'm like, all right. You know, like, I just like watching them put their I just like watching put in who they are together. Like seeing them, you know what I mean? Like, oh, even everything with their like, yo, my shoes match my pants. Okay, I'm feeling this, like, you know, like, and that's why I like doing. Yeah, because I mean that's their personality. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of he's going to high school this year, right?
Yeah, dude.
First year?
Yeah, freshman. I thought your daughter was already
she starts this year. That's why I'm kind of like, you know, I don't ever try to say, hey, make it about the gear or anything like that, but I want her, you know, I've seen children get picked on because they've never, you know what I'm saying, they were in a certain situation. But I've always felt that. I've always seen other kids that even though they didn't have that much money, they were so good at picking stuff out that was either low income, but they could put it together and look great.
Right.
So they were like, yo, they still look fresh. You're like, how do you do that? Like, confidence in that.
That's exactly it. So that shirt that he didn't get, I told him, you don't have enough confidence in it. Like I could wear that shirt, rock the hell out of it, like, damn, that looks nice, right? Because you do have to exude a certain type of confidence.
Your son
has to wear that shirt.
Your son's gonna work. Your son's gonna get his confidence when a girl acknowledges that confidence. Like,
he's pretty confident.
She's gonna be like this, like, that's a nice shirt. I swear, someone walked by and been like that, like he'd have been on it. Like, hey, possum, hey, get 3 of those. But they're the same color. I don't care.
He's not.
The little hair already came out like.
He does that hair flip.
Like that, the hair flip.
But he's not the type that needs like big name brands. Like
you don't need that shit. That's why I think look at the Goodwill they caught.
They make it together, right?
Because that's kind of the thing now. Like, there's a lot of like when you go to like so like that Mitchell and Ness shirt was only $13.
Yeah.
But like I was looking at gear, like they had like a lot of Dunks, SBs. They had freaking couple Mitchell and Ness different jersey shirts. They had but they're just donated, right? But the whole hype is like what they're doing is they're just redoing the clothes over again. So they sell them over there like $8, $10, 12, 13, 14. Most of the shirt was 20.
Yeah.
But they were all good quality, good cut. And like that's how they like that's what that's kind of like their some of their style now is that they they do, you know what I mean? I don't know how he dresses, but I mean that's kind of how he get away with it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that, a lot of those big, huge name brands, it's just I don't know. I don't see them really kind of like they just look freaking old school now the way the kids are dressing.
It is, man. It really is. It's all retro, man. Like anything else. Like before, you got the hip huggers or the bell bottoms, and so there was a phase where it was big, and before like the baggy pants, loose pants that was in.
Yeah.
Now like the skinny jeans is in. Like guys have tighter jeans than the girls do, and it's like it's a trip, man. But
take the boy man on time. You like let him peel him off a couple notes and be like, son, go to the mall, handle that. Because my thing is like, it's just the experience. Like him being able to go to the mall, hang out.
Yeah.
Him being able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man. That to him, I know it's going to be like a sense of freedom. To hey, I can walk around. Well, how long? Well, I'll be a couple hours. Let me know when you're ready. You know, with me, I love going shopping. I can spend like a couple hours, say like at Marshalls, because you know at Marshalls or Ross, you go, you got to look through everything, right? I can spend all day looking, piece something together. Like back in the day, so now I'm just like, I'm not really into buying myself a whole lot of new clothes. You know, I know I could tell. The hats you get are pretty fresh, so I know you like shopping.
I stick to my brand. I was telling my friend this weekend. I was like, I think I'm pretty versatile whenever. It just depends, but it depends off of weight, obviously. If I stay gymming it, then it's for a guy. It's for everybody. I mean, it's hard because like if you gain weight, lose weight, like your clothes are kind of always they kind of sliders. You just stay one consistent weight, which is generally hard. But for the most part, I know you know what type of shirts you like and what kind of stuff like that.
Wait till you get to my age, fool.
38, 39,
39, man.
I don't think I'll ever stop trying to look fresh though.
No,
I think I always want to keep it. I just want to stay. I think I'm gonna keep trying to just plug away at that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was telling my boy this morning, man. I was getting ready for work and I was up there and I was all son. I was like, don't ever have your clothes wrinkled. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, what's wrinkled? I showed him my shirt. I was like, see the way it looks? He's like, yeah. I was like, keep it pressed, son. Keep it pressed. I was like, I already need to start it. I was like, you got to do it. I was like, got a good presentation. He's like, okay. How about you?
And that's cool, man, because for my son, one of his major accomplishments has been, not major accomplishments, but a small win for him was actually knowing how to tie a tie.
Oh, dude, that's nice.
Yeah, because he's like, and he had like some show and tell, like something to learn or something, and he went to school and he showed it. Sorry, Kishan, if I get it wrong, but he did show him how to tie a tie, and he was surprised how many kids like, oh, cool, you know how to tie a tie? Mm. Like, man, that's like the essential of being like a man, like tying your old tie, no clip on. Fuck clip on.
I don't think I learned how to tie a tie.
Dude, the bow tie. You tie your own bow tie, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a lost art, I think. Most kids are like, just give me a clip on and I'm done. I'm like, nah, get rid of that crap. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's a concern to dress that way until like prom or like right after. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of when they come
into the real world.
By the time they're pairing themselves, like, I'm going to rock my Chucks with my prom outfit and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think that's pretty cool though. Like, but like I said, they're both going to high school. Like, for the next 4 years, man, like they're literally going to become into their own. Yeah, they're literally going to be challenged with the reality of like these aren't 8th graders, 7th and 6th graders anymore. Like these are going to be the worst of the worst and the best of the best at that moment. So they're going to, like this is where they're, no one really recalls like, I remember when I was in 8th grade or it's always like, well, when I was in high school, this is what I dealt with. And this are some of the things that happened. So,
there's going to be a whole new exposure to everything, man, because now you got like the 18-year-olds with the youngsters, and if you're 18 legally, you can buy cigarettes or I
I like how your mind goes to the cigarettes.
Yeah,
you're such a fucking parent.
Yeah, I know, but no, I'm just saying, like, they're going to be exposed to that.
Someone's going to give my son tobacco.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
Like I said, look, man, just make a good decision, do the best
just
you
make
can.
it easy. Hey, just grab a bunch of cigarettes and be like, here, smoke all these. And then be like, see that taste? Don't ever take when your friend offers it to you.
No, but I actually had Not
They're
a-
not smoking cigarettes. They're doing those damn e-cigs and those vapes.
Oh my God, e-vapes, huh? That's that fake smoking. That's garbage, man. But
don't make it sound old.
no. I think that
Get off my lawn.
Just smoke. Just smoke. Why you vaping for? Just smoke the real shit.
I don't
You
know.
know,
That's my
just be
brother.
conscientious.
My brother cracks it up. He smokes that. He has his little beautiful vapor.
Does
My
he?
cousin. Yeah, he's always cracking up because he has a little beanie folded. He has his little bag with it. Puts a little oil in there and all that. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just the way that they get their nicotine. I get it.
Just get a cigar.
You watch your son smoking a cigar.
Yeah, like, hey, what's up, son? Is that a good one?
He's at school.
To go to
right?
Monte Cristo? I like.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
but no, so he went to get his physical with the doctor, and it's funny, man. The doctor threw out these statistics about like, what school are you going to? Oh, I'm going to this school. Oh, well, okay, be careful because you're going to be exposed to drugs and alcohol. And she started throwing out stats. She's all, yeah, 50% of the people in high school, drink. I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that half the people in that high school are going to have alcohol in their system when they show up to school? She's like, I told her, where did you get your stats from? Well, statistics show. What statistics? I want to know where did you get your information from?
Yeah.
Wow, drugs, it's a higher exposure.
She couldn't tell you where she got
She
the
couldn't.
actual.
And my son, he's like, Dad, why do you got to be so argumentative?
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't argumentative. I was just questioning her stats.
Yeah.
So I told him today, I said, so you're going to go to school and half the damn school is going to be drinking, maybe a quarter that might be drunk. So watch out, son. Don't get me in the car with the drunk driver. And he's just kind of laughed it off. But I just thought it was funny how she threw out these statistics, but she couldn't account for where she got them from. And I'm like, look, son, all I can tell you is this. You're going into high school, freshman year, you get to reinvent yourself, okay? Don't lose sight of who you are. Have a hell of a lot of fun. Talk to everyone. That's it. Just have fun. And he's like, okay. And if anything happens and you want to talk to me, I'm right here for you.
Yeah.
So it's cool, man. So I don't think I have to talk to him too much. He's pretty,
I think your son's fine.
yeah, it would be
I think
fine.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see, he's gonna evolve and shit. I don't know. Damn it, Dad! I hate soccer now. I never liked it before. And then completely rage.
I can see
Imagine. Hope not. But
I can see all the stuff
for the best,
that we force them to do that they dislike.
right? I mean, cool. Tell me now. I'm gonna get my hopes up. I mean, won't join the MLS. That'll be fine. But
That's funny.
just do something productive and have a hell of a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Just no regrets, man.
Looks like we're coming to another end of the episode.
All right.
A little bit of here, a little bit of there.
Yeah, a little bit everywhere.
So I think we got 3 minutes left. If anybody is asking anything, saying anything, feel free.
You see,
Comment.
got
We need to get ourselves like a young Jamie from the Joe Rogan podcast.
Jamie.
Where they can
Julian,
just
what's up, bud?
Sit
Give
there.
Renellis, thumbs up. Welcome back. Thank you. Glad to be back, bud. And a lot of people wave to everybody. So, thank you everyone for
Guess
joining
we're
in. Oh, I told this
I'm gonna
fool.
end this. All right, guys.
Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. You can always follow along, put a stamp on it.